Hi, I'm Reb Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. What I'm doing is going through the lessons, and as I go through them this time, I'm reading the lesson, asking Jesus to clarify it for me, help me to see whatever he wants me to see this time around. And then I write whatever comes into my mind. So that's what I'm sharing today. We're on lesson 15. My thoughts are images that I have made. Paragraph 1. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. You think them, and so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. This is a function you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing. It is image making. It takes a place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. So let's look at this first paragraph very carefully. It starts out saying the thoughts you think, which is an idea, that he's alluded to before. We seem to have a lot of thoughts. In fact, our minds are filled with chatter pretty much all the time. But Jesus wants us to know that this is not real thinking. The only real thoughts we have are the thoughts we think with God, or the thoughts that reflect God. These are thoughts of oneness in some way, kindness, love, happiness. All of the thoughts are separation thoughts and are there to obscure our reality as Christ. Next, he tells us that these thoughts appear as images. This is anything that is seen with the eyes. It is our bodies, trees, etc. Anything that we see with the eyes. It is the images of wars and sickness, images of suffering and death. We see these images as if they were outside us, and because we see them, we believe they are real. And because they seem to be outside our mind, we can believe we have no responsibility for them, and thus someone or something else is guilty of them. Jesus reinforces this important idea by telling us outright that this is how our seeing was made. This is a function we gave the body's eyes, but it's not seeing at all. It's image making. He has been building up to this from the beginning of the lessons, but now he's being very clear. We have a senseless idea, a separation idea that could not be true. We call it our thought, and then we project that thought outward as an image. We then use the body's eyes to show us the image we made and thus prove it is real and apart from us. Jesus ends this paragraph by emphasizing that what we think of as seeing is made to replace vision with illusions. Vision is completely internal and has nothing to do with the body's eyes. Vision is seeing past the body and its behaviors. It is the awareness of what actually exists. Here's an example of vision as opposed to seeing. I had been frustrated with the work a plumber was doing for me. I thought he was guilty of doing shoddy work. I knew that this had to be wrong-minded thought, but what my eyes showed me seemed to prove it was true. I know, though, not to trust my eyes to show me the truth, and I'm very uncomfortable with guilt of any kind. So I asked the Holy Spirit to show me another way to see this. The idea he gave me was simple. You think he's a plumber. I laughed because I got it right away. My eyes showed me a fallible plumber, but because I was willing to see differently, my mind showed me the Christ. All resentment and guilt thoughts fell away instantly and were replaced with love. That is vision. Paragraph 2. This introductory idea to the process of image making that you call seeing will not have much meaning to you. You will begin to understand it when you're seeing little edges of light around the same familiar objects which you see now. That is the beginning of real vision. You can be certain that real vision will come quickly when this has occurred. As we go along, you may have many light episodes. They may take many different forms, some of them quite unexpected. Do not be afraid of them. They are signs that you're opening your eyes at last. They will not persist because they merely symbolize true perception, and they are not related to knowledge. These exercises will reveal knowledge to you. Sorry, they will not reveal knowledge to you, but they will prepare the way to it. So let me say right off that most people do not experience light episodes with their eyes. This was directed to Helen because of an experience of one of her friends. The light we see is about vision. It is internal, the light of understanding or seeing differently. However it shows up, it is temporary, a symbol of true perception. I took this literally when I first studied the lessons. Thus, I felt guilty and inadequate that I didn't see little edges of light everywhere. Eventually, I realized that I was slowly beginning to see things different in a more enlightened way, and that this is really what Jesus means. Paragraph 4, in practicing the idea for today, repeat it first to yourself, and then apply it to whatever you see around you, using its name and letting your eyes rest on it as you say, this blank is an image I have made. That blank is an image I have made. It is not necessary to include a large number of specific subjects for the application of today's idea. It is necessary, however, to continue to look at each subject while you repeat the idea to yourself. The idea should be repeated quite slowly each time. Paragraph 5, although you will obviously not be able to apply the idea to very many things during the minute or so of practice that is recommended, try to make the selection as random as possible. Less than a minute will do for the practice periods. If you begin to feel uneasy, do not have more than 3 application periods for today's idea unless you feel completely comfortable with it, and do not exceed 4. However, the idea can be applied as needed throughout the day. The idea that the world is real and that the eyes do truly see things outside our mind is persistent. But just because we believe something doesn't make it true. I opened my mind to another way to see, and over time, I began to accept vision as reality rather than the images we made. It still thrills me, though, to stop and looking at what appears to be a solid object, remind myself it is only an image that I have made. Even here in the middle of the illusion, we can peek behind the veil and remember we are not what we seem. In reality, we are limitless, eternal, powerful, and divine. Thank you for watching my video. If this was helpful, then like it and subscribe. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.